Welcome to our YouTube video on Aeronautica Imperialis. We're going to be unboxing this little baby tonight. Front of the box, back of the box, and 5 seconds to go. Boom!
Cellophane.
Not half an hour.
Small victories in life.
Didn't even see that coming.
It starts small victories at start.
Yeah.
We managed a 5-minute improvement on the last start, so.
You're not wrong.
So yeah, just breaking yon seal. Ooh, it's like Ron Seal but with a Y.
It's fantastic. So this does retail at £55.
It's like a bald patch cover.
But we are selling this. Wow.
You could lose weight on your head. Wrap your head in cling film. You'd also probably die if you wrapped all your head in cling film.
So this does retail
Don't recommend that at home.
This does retail at £55, but we do sell it for 44.
My first impression is it's a very nice box.
It is 44 with the 20%.
It is,
Yeah,
45 after 20% discount. And that box does feel very nice.
It looks nice.
It's got a lovely smooth feel, lovely. It's almost like touching silk.
It's very compact for one of their starter boxes. Most of their starter boxes are very big at the moment.
They're also looking to put it in girls' handbags,
If you
like
notice,
most compact things.
if you notice the bigger boxes they're doing as well, like the Warcry as well, they are packing a lot more into their boxes.
Yeah.
You know, one of these days I'm going to get somebody watch our videos and be like, that guy's funny. And they'll just get me to go and do stand-up.
Well, you might be right. They will say that guy's funny, and there won't be you in the video. It'll be someone else.
Well, I was thinking I could do like the last gig of the night after the main act's been on, just so everyone clears out.
Once everyone's left.
Like, you know, when we let them to leave, it'd be like, no, last act up on the stage is Matt. And they're all like, oh, God, I'm off home. Well done, Matt, you've earned your money again by getting us all home early. So I'm going to slowly...
He's building tension.
Oh, he is only just.
I can smell it already. Oh, it's like cocaine. That's gorgeous. I don't do cocaine.
Bubble wrap.
Wouldn't. It's just so that things don't drop around in the box.
I know, but still, it is getting a bit surprising.
So that's my first disappointment.
But the boxes are average.
Compare it to Warcry and other sets.
I was saying.
It's half full.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. They could have made this box smaller.
The need for bubble wrap wasn't really needed. They just did it to make the box bigger. So, yeah, they're the bases. They're roughly the same size as the Warhammer tiles for Mighty Empires.
Yes.
They also look very.
So you could use a Mighty Empires board rather than the hex board on here.
You could.
They also look the same sizing as the hexes on Underworlds as well.
So,
We'll open one of these up.
are these all? No. I thought you might have Orc ones and Imperial ones, to be honest, but they are
No, I
just
think they're generic.
generic.
I don't think you paint the bases though.
I like the little doodad on the... That's
So
good.
what we'll do it is.
That's good.
Oh, I won't bother with the zooming. I've just got to. Actually, I will zoom in just a little bit.
We've got altitude and speed, I'm guessing.
So, as you can see on that. Alright, there we go, it's zoomed in that. Nice hexagonal base. We've got two little tan dials here,
Like the ones for the jet bikes.
and we'll find out what those do later on. It's a nice little base there. Not too thick either, quite handy.
These look sporty, they're quite nice.
Yeah.
So, I'm not 100% keen on the amount of bits you get.
I am.
The planes are looking at nice size to them as well, because I was actually curious as to the size of these.
So,
Do that. That gives you a nice
They are
idea
actually quite
on the
big.
sizing. So that's obviously the good guys in there. So it's
Yeah.
Orcs and Imperials, isn't it?
The bombs on there on these, you could definitely use in 40k bits, 100%.
There's a couple of the Orc ones in there.
Very detailed.
well, what I'm seeing here is I don't see why they can't just do that Because that is both the bomber and the fighter version of the Marauder. It's the destroyer and the.
So that's saying that bomber fighter there. So that's that one there. Ooh.
Or is it? No, they are just Navy bombers. That's the top to it. I always like them because it always reminds me of the Flying Fortress.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they haven't got a belly gun
So
or side gun, so it's more like the Mitchell. Mitchell, is it a B-20? B-24, B-25?
5 sprues in total.
Sure, somebody will correct me.
Probably. I hope so. Because we need to know, man.
So that's 5 sprues, and they make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Was that right? 9?
Yeah, there's 5
9
up
planes.
for Imperial.
Mm.
It's just that.
Oh yeah.
I was just about to get some clippers and build them up, but we can't, can we?
No.
Probably
Because
best.
this isn't our set.
So that is actually showing you what they actually make up there. So you got your Imperial bombers, Imperial fighters, then you got your Orc, Darker Jets, and fighter bombers.
We can't even open this either. Can we?
Yes.
I suppose we could. Just mark won't mind.
Well, yeah, you can open it up.
So for anybody who's wondering what
You
we're
just
about,
can't actually properly undo
this
the
was
paper.
our last set that we've got in the shop because we sold the other ones.
Yes,
We wanted
it's
to
gone
keep this one
quick.
for tonight. It's gone really quick. And then our last customer of the night came in and asked if we could buy one, and we were like, "Ah, it's the one for the live stream." It was one hour, and he went, "Well, I'll buy it. You can use it for the live stream, and then I'll pick it up on Wednesday," which is very nice of him.
Yeah.
So,
Thankfully, we still get to do a video, which is always good.
Some lovely transfers.
So, I mean, we can discuss it.
Yeah, they're quite nice transfers,
could.
those, aren't they?
Yeah, they're lovely.
I mean, grab a plane or two from down the and maybe try again.
Well-
We've got time, but we'll see.
We'll keep going through
Is that a
stuff
quick start guide?
No, that's literally a poster, because obviously that's at one side there.
Oh right.
And I did show the other side, which is the what are you getting it? So the bombers, fighters.
I've not seen it on the side.
Well, that side.
Nice. Oh, that's a nice picture.
It's pretty much what's on the front of the
What's
box.
Oh, there it is. I was wondering where the to build guide was.
That's some nice artwork. That.
Are we opening this as well?
Yeah, pretty much we can open what we've got. It's just literally we can't put any of it together.
No, understandable. Yeah, understandable.
He wouldn't complain actually.
Do
He'd
you
probably
have-
go, "Oh, thank you for building them."
They're not full chat.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm just going to have a look at this to build guide, see how easy they are. It says one of these up bombs is only 10 stages. So
10 stages, that's not too bad. But
No,
saying that
no.
though, considering the size of it, it still seems quite a few stages considering the size of the plane.
Thank you, Carla.
How many do you get in those £25 boxes?
What do you think £25 boxes? Oh, okay. Hang on.
Because this might actually be an excellent value set. I think the £25 boxes you get like 2 bombers.
They're releasing that Big Bess, I think goes on pre-order, and it's the huge Orc bomber that's coming out, and that's like 30 quid and it's on sale.
A huge York bomber.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like double the size of some of the fighters. It's supposed to be enormous.
Can't wait for that to arrive in 40k.
So, as Matt was saying, we've got the core set there, but what you also get released at the same time is you can buy these for 25 quid, or for 20 from us. You've got the Marauder bombers,
So that 2.
and in that you're getting 2 in there,
So
which is what you get with this
Yeah.
set here. You are getting the Thunderhawk fighters.
Thunderbolt fighters.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll say Thunderbolt. Sorry about that. Fighters,
It's alright.
and you're getting
we all know you
4 in there as well.
have difficulty with
Words.
getting things right on air.
I know, I do, don't I? So,
Don't laugh at him, it's not fun. It is hilarious.
so you're getting more fighters.
Yeah, you're getting 2 more fighters.
Yeah, already from the set. With
And,
the fighter bombers, you're getting 4.
Which is 2 in the set, so you've got twice as many in that box.
Yeah.
So 50 quid at the minute.
Then the darker jets, you are getting 6 darker jets.
Which is the
So
3 in there, so it's double again.
The box is alright, but the campaign book's got the rules in it.
Which is...
So
again, we don't have a copy of this at the moment.
The only thing you're getting
right here
extra really when you're spending your £55 is maybe one more jet and then the play sheets
as well as the token.
and the tokens.
Well, how
They
much?
haven't released a token pack, have
Do you
they?
want to put that back in the...
From the looks of it, they've also just taken the to build guides straight out of the single boxes because they're all separate.
Yeah.
In that case, yeah, it would
So-
make no sense. It'll save a lot on reprinting, wouldn't it?
Or you get 4 to build guides.
I mean, as a set goes, it's pretty good value, isn't it? It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too
How
bad.
much is the rules separate?
22.
Yeah, but you
Switch
need that book to play with bombers.
Actually, saying that though, that can't be what's in the little rule book we get with this.
That was another thing that I was told.
The looks like the little rule book will be like what you get in like the kill team. It'll be probably like
Basic.
a very basic one that doesn't have scenarios or anything in it like that.
Bing Club's got one scenario,
Now,
but it doesn't have any rules for using like the Marauder bombers.
funny
Just
enough,
using fighters.
we've
So it's
just
like,
got, we've just
Yeah.
had Keith saying about how the models are ace, however he was gutted with the playmat. Now, this is what we're getting to next, playmat. Which is just simply,
no, we're not playing it.
no, playmat.
No, I'm
This
not
is
going
a
to play it.
playmat. M-A-T, not M-A-T-T.
I like it sometimes when your jokes don't land.
Oh, they do. I just completely just blank him. It's a lot easier just to blank him nowadays.
I mean, I always remember when I used to live at home, and someone
Lives in a
knocks,
bin now.
and someone knocks on the door, and Mum would tell me to go and get the doormat, and I would just come back with mat from in front of the door and go, "Here you go." She's like,
It's a nice.
I like the fire effects on the buildings.
So,
It's like real fire.
that's a fair size map. Seeing what they have been releasing map-wise.
Well, I mean, I need to lose weight, so yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a fair size.
I know, you're on your pleasure.
How about keep calling it a sheet?
Please,
It is a
please.
You'd thought with an actual playmat it'll be more than just paper.
I'm playing.
Yeah. Is the one in Warcry just a sheet?
No.
I think the one.
Warcry's a pretty good game.
The
actually.
Warcry one is an actual board.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. It's Warcry. It's not shit.
So this is. I mean, you can make up the
Victor.
hexes on these.
You can.
Thankfully, because they've used a light enough blue.
I like the fact it's kind of like the thingy, like a blip, like
Radar.
a sonar type. That's it, radar.
Yeah, I'm just.
So it's almost like you're seeing the action on your screen
Oh, no.
in your base.
They've got a barcode on this. They're going to be selling this individually as well.
I'm just disappointed in it. I'd honestly think if they were going to do this, I'd rather they did tiles.
On the plus
It
side,
reminds me of Mantic games.
it is
Yeah.
double-sided, so that's kind of
Even
good,
more
but
disappointed. It's just a. No, that's. I expected a bit more, especially out of box out of that side. It seems strange to me that they weren't able to put like a four tile like something.
Do you
with
reckon that
cardboard.
they've done this? Because you remember when it came to Kill Team, they had a little bit of problems with the actual people they're going to the printers for the boards, tiles and that.
Yeah.
So do you reckon they've done this to save the problems with the boards?
Yeah, but you just
So they don't release it and then have to not release any more for the next year.
Yeah.
you end up with a very. Don't get me
Flimsy.
wrong, it's quality paper, but it's paper, and like
At the end of
these huge ridges in it.
What's the one thing that happens when you get your paper mats?
The more you
Where the creases,
fold them,
it's going to go. Yeah, exactly. The more you fold it, the more the wear and tear is going to be.
Well, the idea is you buy 2 sets and glue it down to a bit of board.
the problem is though, with these ridges, even if you
And
put
glue.
if you put
and
an
then
iron,
laminate it.
Well, you could.
even if you put an iron over that, you still
You
want
just
to get
set
rid
it
of
light,
that
wouldn't you?
ridge.
No.
No,
Not only
is that
that,
because
you
it's
could
some
get a
underneath it?
sheet of glass or
No.
plastic and actually put it on top to fatten it down and frame it. But even then,
Yeah, I just think they could have
This
made
could
it
do, you
more.
could get 2 bits of glass, put it in between 2 bits of glass, And like our gaming tables, put a frame around it, have it so it spins.
Yeah, you can do all this, but you still get those creases in, won't you?
No, because it'll flatten out the creases if you sort of two bits of glass
probably.
sandwiched.
I just think for £50,
It'd be a long way to go just to.
That's probably why the set is £50 because they're not actually put a proper board in.
I do like it though. It's nice. It's,
don't get me wrong.
what's that? Reaver, Warhound, Reaver.
That is a Titan, yeah.
Baneblade.
Yeah.
Massive defence line. That would cost you millions if you were to buy it in Games Workshop.
That's the
Huge
defence platform as well, isn't it? The huge one.
big.
We did actually have one of these, but we got
Yeah, I sold it.
Yeah.
Got a pass for it.
It'll do for the moment. Hopefully they will release a proper...
What you could do is you could blow it up onto a 6x6 table mat thing.
Would that not just make the game...
Too
I'm
big.
guessing like...
No, I mean for a 40k game.
Oh, I see. I was going to say, I think the whole idea of this is that the dog fights are super close together.
You could like just look at one area, send it to one of them printers that make these mats, and just and then you've got a 3D-ish gaming mat 6x4.
Yeah, like I say, it's just, I can see people's disappointment in this part. So far I've liked what I've seen, but this is a bit disappointing.
You know, as well, with the gaming mats, if you did accidentally spill some on it, it's generally good condition. As soon as this gets wet, it's going to get damaged.
She'll try it.
Nah.
I would say if it wasn't Mark's, but saying that Mark probably wouldn't matter anyway, would it?
Unicorn likes it.
And then obviously the other releases that we've got are the dice.
Yeah, we've got the dice. £10 for 6d6. Is it 6 or is it 4?
It's
8.
8. Oh, completely wrong, am I?
We have mixed opinions on it. I personally am not a big fan.
I like them.
Nah.
Let's have a look.
I think there's nicer looking dice that GW's ever made.
Well,
I like these ones.
how much is it for Blood Bowl dice?
£8.
How many do you get in that?
Some. 2d6, a d8, a d16 and 3 block dice.
See, I think this is
Some
exactly
dice.
what we've just been talking about. Is
£8.
you feel that and tell me that is not like fit card, and that's just a gaming board. So it's exactly what we were just. So I think that's exactly this, but you put a £26 tag on it.
It is a hard board.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I would have wanted in the £50 set.
But it wouldn't fit.
Yeah, card. Yeah.
Different box and everything.
Yeah,
Well, it would have filled the box quite nicely.
yeah, exactly.
When we say
that was-
there was a actual gap in this box as well. So
It's
yeah,
almost
you're
like
right.
they planned to put a board in and then realised the board was... This is one of them stupid ones that got a bit of foam down the bottom.
So
Well, it has to be because it has to be as big as this.
£26
I've tried
as
to
well.
open these, but unfortunately they belong to another customer.
£26 for this mat as well.
I'm a bit disappointed about
Technically it's a board.
On board. Sorry.
Unless you're talking to me.
Well, no, you're cheaper than £26. So
Yeah, stop getting told.
that. And then
that is disappointing.
and
That
then
is-
then there's the cards, but you know GW make cards for everything.
Yeah. Cards for everything.
Personally, I
That's all right.
prefer to just read a rule book.
Folds down easy.
That's hardly a selling point, is it? Really? It
Look how nice
folds,
it folds down.
folds well.
Got to say something good about it. So moving on, we've got tokens as well.
Yeah, they love tokens in every one of their games at the moment.
Of course, because you can't have a Games Workshop game without tokens.
Put a dice next to it like everyone else.
Nice and simple there. So we'll go through those in a bit as Matt goes through the book. Otherwise, what else we got? Got the instructions, sort of those. Oh, quick reference sheet. Ooh.
Yeah, you get 2 of those, which I always think is a good idea nowadays. That they actually put.
Especially with... Oh, excuse me. With the start sets, yes. Because even when it comes to Blood Bowl, you can have one sheet between 2 people. And it gets a bit touchy at times. They like to have their own ones.
Yeah, it just makes it a bit awkward when you're trying to read the rules while someone else is trying to read the rules.
So whilst Matt's having a nice little nosy through the book, we'll go through the quick reference sheet. So, turn summary looks quite nice and easy as well. You choose your manoeuvre. You've got initiative phase, tailing fire. You've got your movement, your firing, and your end phase. That's it. So 6 steps. Now let's see. So it's all about choosing ace manoeuvre for each eligible aircraft at the place of, and place a manoeuvre token face down next to your model's base. So that means, on the back as well, you've got your movement diagrams. So that means you choose, that's why you've got tokens labelled up to 8. You choose one of those, you put it face down next to the plane, and that's the manoeuvre it's going to be doing.
Exactly like X-Wing.
Yeah, exactly like X-Wing, as you're saying. Then you've got the initiative, which is you roll a d6, highest person gets the initiative. Nice and easy there. Tailing fire. Now, aircraft that are tailing another aircraft may fire at the tailed aircraft. The player with the initiative chooses an aircraft and fires first. So, pretty much that's a advantage of tailing. You get to do that first before any other kind of firing movement.
Yeah, it looks to be that way.
So, if there is no tailing fire, you do your movement. Let's see. Player did initiative goes first. Player then alternates and moving aircraft until all. So you can't move all your aircraft at once. You're moving one at a time.
Alternating.
Alternating, yeah. Thank you. So that makes it more tactical. Other than that, player that move first fires first, and then alternate as well. After that, obviously the end phase. Both players attempt to recover aircraft that are stalled or in a spin. Tailing is also determined now. If this is the last turn of the game, determine victory points. So obviously it just mentioned about the stalling, recovery and that lot, so we'll skip to the end phase. See how that goes. Stalled, right, fine enough, it goes straight into stalled aircraft and recovering from a spin. It doesn't tell you how you get there, so that'll be in the damage part. So, targeting, select targets. That's grabbed me to page 18 though. Players tell me how many fire dice are rolled. Roll to hit. Oh, the firepower characteristic is the number of d6s rolled when that firepower fires at that range. D6 rolls, right. To the following modifiers, measure minus 1 to measure damage. If any hits are scored, those dice are rolled against. So it doesn't actually say when your aircraft stalls.
I think the stall is one of the moves. If you look at 5, it's called a stall turn.
I was just actually getting to me and see if it does there.
So you stall if you fly above your max altitude. So you've got a maximum altitude of 5. If you go to altitude 6, the chance of stalling.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a handy way to avoid being shot at.
Arms off if you're jiggling, because that's the camera robbing as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I was jiggling.
You both of us try and remove a page doing that as well. So I thought I'd have a look at the stream as well, and that's starting to wobble.
It's all part of the fun.
What you're on shit.
And then also, if you reduce your speed to a minimum of 0, you stall, and then you fall into a spin. And then if you don't get out of your spin before you hit the ground, you blow up.
Oh.
So stalling.
How strange is that? Blowing up if you don't get out of the spin when you hit the ground.
And is there kind of levels of altitude based off, like you can't shoot from altitude 1 to altitude 6, for example?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's very reminiscent
Although
of Black
aircraft
Sky.
that can hover do not stall if they're at altitude 0.
So that leaves it open for stuff like helicopters, that sort of thing.
You can also
He's got to that, hasn't he? Yeah.
attempt to stall your plane to avoid enemy fire.
What's the Space Marine ones?
Mm.
They're drop pods that basically are just like big old helicopters that hover for a bit and then they just fly off. Grey Knights always jump out.
Marines have got
Thunderhawks.
they've got their own little fighter, haven't they? Talos.
Yeah, I just mean like
the Interceptor. Is it a lightning?
They're like Thunderhawks and stuff like not Thunder. I'm thinking
They do have Thunderhawks, yeah.
Yeah, but they're just like drop pods, aren't they? But they could just hover and then shoot off.
So you know, if they've mentioned about the hovering, you know they're going to be bringing these into this game at some point.
To be honest,
Tau, because all Tau stuff can hover on the spot.
my first, just from looking at movement, I'm already thinking Blood Red Skies is way better.
So are you saying look at movement? Why? Explain it. Because obviously you've seen that some bits there, haven't you?
It just seems overly complex. You've got minimum speeds, maximum speeds, altitudes, adjusting altitude, manoeuvring, doing your ace manoeuvres in between manoeuvring. You've got accidentally engaging, climbing, stalling.
Can I just hang on? I've just noticed something.
It just seems too much for someone to pick up and play. You're going to be like spending about a week reading this book just to learn what's going on.
Do you want to know there's something that isn't actually in here?
What?
Stat cards or anything like that in this box. Is there anything in the back of the book for the stats for the models?
I believe that's what these are. That you have to purchase.
There is Thunderbolt Fighter, Thunderbolt Fury, Mobile Bomber, and then you've got the Vaca Jet and the Fight Bomber.
So
you have got the stat cards in here.
but they're actually in the book though.
In the book.
So if you actually just buy this set, not only do you have the paper mat, but when you're wanting to know what your planes actually can and can't do, you're having to share the book.
It's not a game for the light-hearted, this. So,
So do you reckon it'll be one of those, there's a lot of stuff in it, but it simplifies down very easily? Or it's going to be one of those, there's a lot in it, it's going to be
Armada compared to X-Wing.
Crikey.
For those that have not played Armada or X-Wing, for our viewers, X-Wing obviously is very simplistic, because all X-Wing is, you get a dial with your manoeuvres on it. You turn it to the manoeuvre you want, face down. When it comes to your turn, turn it face up, you do that manoeuvre. Apart from that, there's shooting. That's it with X-Wing pretty much. With Armada, it's more
Planning and stuff.
planning and stuff.
I mean, it's not to the point where you've got to plan your turn ahead of the turn,
Yeah.
but from what I read to begin with, it appeared like you decide what you're doing before you do it. But then reading this, it looks like you just do it. But there's like, it has got phases. Oh, that's quite handy. So throttle, use your throttle to increase and adjust your speed. Speed indicates how far an aircraft is going to move, and if not carefully managed, can result in the aircraft failing to execute an ace manoeuvre safely, or leaving the area entirely. So you basically choose, I'm guessing, see, I kind of prefer the Blood Red Skies where you just put the manoeuvre dial in, like X-Wing.
Because Blood Red Skies doesn't use a manoeuvre.
It
Well,
seems really tactical.
You put the thing in front of it and then you
Oh,
move
the
it far.
45-degree one.
Mm.
Oh yeah, this kind of move.
See, Blood Red Skies is tactical, but it's
This seems very noodly. From what I can see at the moment, it doesn't look like this is a big game to be played with a lot of planes. Like the 9 that we have here, I can't see playing with like a fleet of 20. Games like that.
So basically, throttle means decide how far you move in this, how many hectares you want to move.
Yeah.
Move and manoeuvre. Move the aircraft using the ACE manoeuvres diagrams. See, ACE manoeuvres, to me, just sounds like ace pilots.
Yeah.
So, but that's not an ace manoeuvres diagram to me. That is just what everyone can do.
Yeah, unless it's everybody up there's an ace. But
So move your aircraft using the ace manoeuvres diagram on page 35, which I'm guessing is the same as that. As a guide, the distance between each stage of the manoeuvre can vary depending on the speed in which you're travelling. Adjust altitude. After an aircraft has completed its movement, adjust your altitude to represent climbing or diving manoeuvres. So, throttle. Each aircraft has a throttle value. This allows the aircraft to accelerate or decelerate before it moves. The throttle step can come at the start of an aircraft's movement phase. An aircraft can increase or decrease its speed by an amount less than or equal to its throttle value. For example, an aircraft with a throttle 2 may increase or decrease by 1 or 2, but not more. After using throttle, an aircraft's speed is set for the remainder of the turn unless it later climbs to or dives, which will modify the speed again at the end of the movement. An aircraft may not use throttle to safely increase its speed above the maximum speed or decrease below the minimum speed. An aircraft is not obliged to use its throttle and may choose to maintain its current speed, which can never be either below minimum speed or above max speed. I mean, that last bit doesn't need to be said about you can't be below or above, because it's already said it. And if you choose to maintain the same speed, then you wouldn't be have changed your speed, which means last turn you wouldn't have gone above or below it, so you wouldn't even need to say that if you keep it you can't be above or below.
Yeah.
It's just like,
So this is Games Workshop's famous trick of over-explaining.
Being very noodly.
So, certain ace manoeuvres require more speed to perform, whilst climbing and diving might force an aircraft briefly above its max speed or below its min speed. So it's important to carefully manage the aircraft's throttle at the start of every movement phase to avoid disaster. So again, that isn't really needed because it's just told us again that by doing things you might increase or decrease your throttle speed, which it just said in the first thing. So they could have done that in like that much, but they did it in that much.
Yeah.
An aircraft speed is recorded using your speed dial on your base, which is the one with the 2 arrows, I think.
So, I did open one of these.
You must move the full distance for your speed indicated. After acceleration or deceleration using the throttle step as described.
Did you say you must move your full speed?
That you've chosen. So if you chose to throttle down by 2 from 4, you have to move 2 hexes rather than 4 hexes. And
can you move 2 hexes within a 180 arc in front of you, or literally any direction?
I've not got that far yet, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's like, I'm guessing if you move in, I wonder if they represent speed. So if you go in 3 speed, you can do manoeuvre 3.
I don't think that. I think it's more. There's got to be a reason why, because then that would mean.
So if you go below your minimum speed, which for a fighter bomber, its minimum speed is 3. Go below that, you risk stalling.
They're moving fast, aren't they?
You would stall. So that it stalls and goes into a spin.
Like I said, they're moving real fast.
It covers hovering, but none of these can hover. So that's like a full 2 A4 pages before I've even
just
understood what difference this makes. Move and manoeuvre.
You're going to cover the board real quick with those guys, aren't you?
Yeah.
In Aeronautica Imperialis, after bank, side slip, roll and perform other manoeuvres as determined by the ace manoeuvres, there are 8 such manoeuvres named accordingly and numbered 1 to 8 for ease, shown on the ace manoeuvres reference sheets. So what about normal manoeuvres?
Yeah, it just said a bunch of stuff like bank and roll, which aren't on here. It might go into them now, but...
So 7 is bank, which is there.
7 is bank. You've got a bank. You've got.
But then it's saying they're ace manoeuvres. So, do we have normal manoeuvres?
It just said roll then. What's a roll?
It keeps mentioning ace manoeuvres. It's like, roll.
Not on it. There's no roll.
So maybe
in it.
roll is like an ace. These cover the range of options from the very simple to the highly complex, with 1 being the most simple and 8 being the most complex. Okay.
Which makes sense considering 1 is level flight. That's just straightforward. You've got your wing cover, which is forward, then over to the side.
Ah.
And then back under yourself.
So then it goes to explain that. You see, this is wrong. I fully do not agree with the way they've put this, and I'm going to say that.
What you just have?
Ace manoeuvres, right? Each plane has got a skill number.
Yep.
For the amount of ace manoeuvres it can do.
Okay.
Right.
So, like a standard Thunderbolt fighter can do ace manoeuvres 1 to 6. Well, to me, an ace manoeuvre is your veteran pilot being really skillful.
Yeah, I would agree, yeah.
So sure, that should be called manoeuvres. And then ace manoeuvres should be some set of cards, like in there, that you can be like, oh, well, my ace, even though his access on the Thunderbolt fighter is 1 to 6, this ace can do a special manoeuvre, which is this.
So,
Like a warlord trait
Yeah.
in one of your planes. And like, this guy's the head chief.
Because basically what it's saying to you is everybody's an ace fighter. There's just different levels of aces. So like your rookie ace is 1. You know, it's like...
A rookie ace is a bad thing to say already.
It just, you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't take into account, it's like a Thunderbolt can do manoeuvres 1 to 6 as an ace manoeuvre. It's like,
so that means on here, manoeuvres 1 to 6.
so what it's trying to tell us is every single fighter pilot in this is ace.
No,
All aces.
I think what it's trying to say is that it can do any of these, but it can only do them up to 6 times.
I just don't get why it's called an ace manoeuvre.
Yeah.
My point, I mean, in World War II, you were an ace if you'd shot down 5 planes.
So you're saying basically they used the wrong word of ace.
They've used ace to explain manoeuvres for movement.
Or special manoeuvre, in a sense.
Because that is an ace manoeuvre, that is an ace manoeuvre, that is an ace manoeuvre, that is an ace manoeuvre. I mean, this is like just fucking flying 1 square.
Hex.
And then picking a
Not
new,
one, and
then
going,
picking
oh,
a new
I'm
direction.
choosing it. Oh, actually, it's flying 2. So it's going from there, skipping that one, going to that one, and choosing a direction. That is not an ace manoeuvre, that is just normal flying to me.
Yeah.
This, on the other hand,
The bank.
the banking one is pretty difficult to carry out if you're going. Woof, 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 woof.
Yeah.
That's pretty ace, but there should have been like, you know, your Blood Red Skies where you've got your standard planes and then you've got your ace pilots who have special abilities.
Yeah.
We have had from Keith, I think in the separate card packs, each set comes with actual ace pilots.
I'm guessing that from
Well, yeah,
some,
I
of
mean-
the, some of the... Let me have a read.
But that still doesn't get past the fact they've called it ace manoeuvres.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it has 8 Orc Aces cards, including the infamous Toothcracker and the Black Baron.
The Black Baron. Oh, brilliant.
So I'm wondering if they have like ace manoeuvres or special ace manoeuvres.
Wouldn't ace manoeuvre be a pair?
Or an apple. But yeah, I just think it's stupid that they've called it ace manoeuvres rather than just manoeuvres. Carry out manoeuvres 1 to 6, and then your aces have the ace manoeuvre.
I've just been told by somebody that Rin's World that we were looking at.
Yeah.
It is just another like paper sheet. They just have sprues in there before they have ground defences.
Oh
Oh no!
God.
Hang on, that said card on there, though, didn't it? So you reckon they're calling this card?
Apparently, it's another. Again, I don't know. I've just spoken to one of my friends to see because I know that he's bought some of this stuff, and he says that what he's got out of there is a bunch of ground defence sprues. and it's like a bunch of. It says it on the back of there, a bunch of like missile turrets. And
Hang on, your
stuff.
shirt's not the planetary defence things you can buy.
Because they've got
be
two
wrong.
similar things, both called
You may have bought the
Ringworld.
wrong thing.
He might have
The
bought
thing
the
is-
wrong thing.
Oh, actually not called Ringworld, it is a slight mistake. You sure it's probably not that he's looking at?
It might be that. I'll have to send you a message back.
Because what I've just passed over is the ground assets you can get.
I'll have to send him a quick message back and see if that's what he was talking about.
But do we have a spare Ringworld in the shop? No. Wow, they really did buy everything, didn't they?
Jesus.
Alright, here we go. Keith, thank you. Oh, yeah, because Keith's got everything, hasn't he? The Rins War one is card and massive.
Ah, right, he must have got it wrong.
So there we go.
I'd
So
be
your
excited to
mate's
see
probably a
that.
bit.
Yeah, I've probably got the wrong
Yeah.
thing.
Thank you very much for that, Keith.
So now I've got past the fact I've used ace manoeuvres to just explain manoeuvres.
Yeah, so past the nitpicking.
So after you've chosen your manoeuvre, you choose your direction, which is normally dictated by that or these. So that can just go straight forward. These can go from one side to the other.
I'm guessing if you don't choose a manoeuvre, you just go forward as fast as you're going. Because like turn is just a manoeuvre. So it really does limit you. If you were saying like you can only do, say for example with the fighters, they can only do like 1 to 6 of these manoeuvres every game. And that means realistically, like if you've got a 4, they can only turn 4 times before they just fly off the board.
Yeah, because once an aircraft has moved at least 1 hex from its starting position, the controlling player may have to change its facing, thus performing a manoeuvre. Some ace manoeuvres allow the aircraft a choice of facing, shown by several arrows, but other ace manoeuvres do not give a choice, showing only 1 arrow. The aircraft must turn so its front arc faces the direction shown on the arrows.
Yeah.
So that still doesn't really, like you say, it's like if you're moving 7, you go but, and then you can choose to turn and then move another 7 hexes.
Yeah, we'll just
And you would just end up just
Well, exactly.
bye, see you later.
Well, exactly that is. That means this game must be really short then. If your planes have only got like, say you've only got 3 manoeuvres, you run all the way to one side, do a turn, come back, do a turn, come back, do another turn. Then that's you. Then you just gone.
No, the 1 to 6 is which one of these you can do every turn.
Okay, so you can do 1 a turn.
But then if it's saying you move a space and then you do your manoeuvre, and then you go whatever. If you go in diagonally, you will end up flying off the table quite fast.
Yeah, super fast.
So, I mean, it's going to put a lot into speed management.
Yeah. I suppose altitude is a lot more about damage management.
We've had from Keith. He's all over this game. It's 40k X-Wing. What's not to love?
Has he read the rulebook yet?
Well, that's the question we're going to ask him now.
Have you read the rulebook yet, Keith?
Have you read it? Have you played the game yet? We know you've been making up the models, so you've probably not played one yet.
You're probably excited about making the models.
Which
You
I would
read
be.
this, Keith. You'll be coming in on Wednesday saying, what the hell going on?
I can understand his excitement over the models, but
Models look beautiful, really do. I like the models, but this Games Workshop are going to be nice models, aren't they?
yeah, they very rarely mess it up.
So, choose direction. Established. Movement. Once the direction that the aircraft is moving has been decided, the controlling player is free to choose how many points of speed the aircraft will use to move that direction before the manoeuvre part of the step. Okay, so it isn't just 1 hex. That gave me the impression you flew 1 hex and then chose So you move whatever you want to move before turning. So you might say, I'm on speed 6.
Which means how many hexes?
I'm going to move 4 hexes, then turn, and then move 2.
Do you have to dedicate that before you move, or when everybody starts moving? Or say, for example, you move your ship, can then I then say I move 2 and then turn and move 4, or do I have to say it front?
Yeah, it's alternating. So, as far as I can tell,
because like X-Wing, you put the tiles face down.
yeah,
Don't you?
and it's all
That
guesswork.
could make your manoeuvres a lot more interesting then as well.
Yeah, I think you won't crash anywhere near as much as you do in X-Wing.
No.
Unless they bring out ships where it's good to crash into other ships, which would be really fun.
Well, it's Orcs in there as well. You know they're going to have some crashing ships in there, aren't they?
Yeah, I want to see if
So,
Games
yeah,
Workshop
it's,
does anything to do with that, just because I don't know if they will, but if they bring out a kamikaze vessel, it'd be really fun, but you don't think that, I just don't know that they will.
So if you have any speed left after you've done your doodad, you've got to keep moving.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I'm with you.
Once you've moved at least 1 hex from your starting position, the controlling player may have to change its facing, thus performing a manoeuvre. It's just said manoeuvres.
So are you saying you've got to move the remainder of your speed? That just means if you've got a 6 speed, you've got to move a total of 6.
Yeah, if you've chosen 6 and you go, like this is, I'll go 2 hexes and then I'll do my turn. So you go 1, 2, turn. Got 4 speed left.
Yeah, but it's one. Yeah, it's literally one of those you can't go. Oh, I've got.
I mean,
to
you
move
can
6,
choose
I'm only going to move
to
5.
up or down your speed by 2.
To extend your can reduce.
So if you're on like your Thunderbolt is on, I don't know, speed 6. I don't know if knows that's allowed to do that. You're like, well, that Orc's going to be maybe doing this. I'll tell you what, I'm going to drop my speed to 4, and I'll go 1, 2, turn, 3, 4.
Yeah. Can you drop your speed on the turn and it take effect?
Yeah,
on the table.
you drop the speed on the you drop your speed. This is just one thing I don't like about it. It's like,
we've got from Keith.
and again comparing it, Blood Red Skies is just like 1 page,
Yeah.
and it's just like do this, do that, done.
What will which will set it as well is once we actually run a demo of this as well.
Mm-hmm.
That will actually show how easy it is to play as well. But we've got from Keith, he has read the rules. You can't crash into other ships. They move around each other.
That's crap. Ah.
Where's Kamikaze?
I think that's one of the best bits about X-Wing is when you accidentally whack into each other.
Accidentally.
Yeah, I just think it's so much fun as a concept of a plane like, oh, I'm too wounded, let's just bang. I think that's fun as hell.
So when do you reckon we'll be getting another copy of this in?
It'll be next week. So if you build it up when it arrives,
Which will be the main plan, won't it?
then we could play it on Sunday night.
Next Sunday or this Sunday? No, we're on this Sunday.
So
We're on
basically,
Sunday currently.
I mean that page there is pointless, really, because it's on about throttles, which completely confused everything by saying it 7 times. And then in the movement, it goes over it again, really, by saying, you once you've chosen your direction and you know how fast you're moving, wouldn't it be easier to say, right, adjust your speed by the amount you can up and down, don't go above.
I can kind of see why they're going over manoeuvres so much, because it looks like this game is the baseline of it is manoeuvres.
So yeah, done the manoeuvre, done remaining movement. Should a moving aircraft ever go into an occupied hex, the moving aircraft will continue moving in the same direction until it reaches the first unoccupied hex. So one dick could literally put a load of his fighters in front of yours. So when you go, oh shit, my minimum move is this. There's a fighter on number 3 because 3 is the minimum. And there's another one behind it, and behind it, and oh shit, I'm off the table.
I just think it's such bull that you can't just crash into each other.
Depending on your movement, they might, for example, if you were all in line, it says next 3 hex, it could be in a different angle.
See, as daft as it sounds, I think, actually, what they should have done, since they've made it complex anyway, if you're going to fly into another ship, right, you should roll a dice, compare the result. If you get a higher result, you can choose whether to stay where you are or leapfrog. If your opponent gets a higher result, you crash into each other.
I just think they should just go off the altitudes, because they talk about altitudes. So surely it should be like, if you're, for example, like 1-2 altitude, you just fly straight under each other. But if that rare moment you're both at a free altitude, both fighters are taking out action, you just hit. Because that's what would happen realistically.
There is a cheeky thing that means with this as well. With you saying, with the example, you got your range of 3. On your third one, there is another fighter there. There's a manoeuvre here, which is snap turn. At the end of it, you turn round. So, example, you've got your 3. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do my snap turn because you're there. Next 3 square there, you managed to do it. You've then turned round. You're now at the behind of the enemy fighter, which will come through to your tailing,
which starts next turn
before any of the movement, which gives you a good advantage point there.
You do get to do tailing shooting. Is it at the start of?
It's before movement. It's phase 2.
Literally, you choose your manoeuvres, you do your initiative, then you're
not being picky.
So I think that what Josh is saying is you could shoot them and then go at the end of the phase, and then that you do tail gunning, so you get 2 rounds of shooting against the same ship before they got to move again.
Yeah. So with that being able to move, that extra hex with some manoeuvres, you end up being way too cheeky.
Yeah.
With getting your shots in.
But I don't like that. As much as Matt didn't like the ace thing, I really don't like that. If you're at the same altitude and you go into each other, you go into each other and die.
Yeah, you should do, shouldn't you?
That's the realistic thing that would happen with planes.
So what you can do is, after you performed your movement, let's say we've chosen speed 4.
That goes up to 9.
Right, but I've chosen speed 4.
I know. I'm just saying
that goes to 9.
Yeah, that goes to 9, right? Your altitude is your up and down arrow.
Yeah, that's altitude. This is right. Okay. So I've chosen speed 4.
So it also means we now know what the bits mean on the actual bases.
Which way's forward?
Forward, right?
That's forward.
So up here, nice and close. You have the one with multiple arrows. Well, that's your speed. You got your up and down arrow. I can see your tongue moving there. You got your up and down arrow, that's your altitude. Then where my thumb is, you got the triangle, that's your direction.
Cool. Bish bash bosh. Bish bash bosh. Right, so let's say you're going 4 and you go 1, 2, 3, turn 4. You then get to choose whether you want to climb, stay at the same altitude, or descend. So if you climb, you can, and you're doing speed 1 to 4, you can increase your altitude by 1, which then would drop your speed. So for every altitude you increase, you drop speed. So if you went up to altitude 2, you'd drop down to speed 3.
Okay.
Because you was on speed 4.
Which is then getting
if you're doing speed 5 to 9, you can actually do it by 2 if you wanted to. So if you're going 9, you could like drop to speed 7 and go to altitude 2+.
So there is
you're at. So
there is quite a good benefits to doing.
Yeah. So go in at a certain speed for a certain manoeuvre and a certain climb. You can actually probably outmaneuver your opponent quite easily if you plan it right.
And obviously, the more you climb, the closer you get to your minimum speed.
I thought there was a descending, but
which would make sense with stalling as well. If you climb, you're going.
Oh, diving. Yeah. Right. Okay. And then when you dive,
I'll show you pick up speed.
Yeah.
You should do.
So if you're doing 1 to 4, you can adjust it by 1.
That's the speed 1 to 4.
Speed 1 to 4, you can decrease altitude by 1, which means you increase speed by 1.
Yep.
And if you ever go to 0, you crash. That makes sense. The only planes that are allowed to be at 0 are hover planes and landed planes.
Landed planes?
But if you're flying,
that's got to
and
be
you go to
for
0,
objectives.
It's got to be for campaigns, that sort of thing.
So, and breaking up, should a diving aircraft ever exceed its max speed for any reason, including player error, it risks breaking up. Roll a d6 on a 3 up, your aircraft is able to withstand the stresses of high speed and the pilot is able to recover safely. On a 1 or 2, your aircraft suffers a catastrophic failure and immediately suffers 1 damaging hit. If breaking up is avoided or the aircraft still has structure points remaining, the aircraft's altitude is reduced for diving as described previously. to the minimum altitude of 1, and the speed dial will remain at the max speed for the aircraft.
You've actually got a couple of crashed planes on this map.
Oh, where?
Yeah, you've got one there. I think you recognise that shape.
The Valkyrie.
Yep. And I believe that's one over there.
Isn't that a Baneblade?
I don't know, it looks like a plane.
That looks like a Baneblade to me.
Alright, okay.
That is definitely a Baneblade.
Yeah, you can see barrel out front, can't you?
I mean, it could have been a flying Baneblade.
Ah, no, there we go, sorry. No, that's the other one.
They were airdropping it.
Yeah, you can definitely see the big old turret out front.
There's another Valkyrie there as well.
So it's nice now.
A lot of crashed Valkyries.
Yeah, I think you're.
I think we know where this game's going to go.
I think you're over in Imperial City, aren't you?
So,
So diving, realistically, if it builds up your speed, there's a negative for going over your max speed, isn't there?
yeah, blowing up.
There you go.
Ooh.
So on a 3 up, you're fine, but on a 1 or 2, you either you take a damage point and reduce your altitude by 1.
Your engine's just going real quick.
So, yeah. And each aircraft has damage points. So, like a fighter bomber's got damage structure points of 3. So, like, say you're on 1 structure point left, and accidentally you've chosen, I don't know, to dive when you're at your maximum speed already, and you dive, and then you roll a 1 as you blow up in
Up
midair.
you go.
So with the conversation of all the manoeuvres and that, if you simplify it, you've got your speed is your movement, your altitude will affect other things, but then
I'm guessing altitude's going to affect shooting.
your manoeuvres
Yeah, you can only shoot the same altitude.
wouldn't actually be too complicated to do. Hopefully.
No, to be honest, they've made it a lot more complex than it actually is.
Yeah.
So,
it looks like it is going to be one of those games
your
where
basic steps are choose your speed, increase or decrease by 2, up to what you're allowed.
Yep.
Pull off a manoeuvre that you're allowed. I'm going to go with manoeuvre number 3. So, I'm going to choose a turn. So,
you can go into that text or that
what
text.
space am I facing in that one? That's weird. They're doing it that way. So my plane's there at the minute. I'm going to choose to turn. So I'm going to turn and go a couple of spaces. 1, 2, and I can choose to turn.
You can go there or there.
Yeah, it's there or there, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's quite a sharp turn, isn't it? It's like
Yeah, but as fast as these things are going, you
1,
probably can do a pretty
2,
sharp
3,
turn.
4. So I would do 4 and be facing that direction, and I go, oh, I'm going to climb. So I climb up and lose 1 speed and get an altitude. So I then go down to 3 and up to like
Whatever
if
altitude
that was
you'll be
1, it'd be on 2. And that's basically the move.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. But you say you can't shoot people at other altitudes.
Not at other altitude, no. But I'm guessing, you
I
know,
thought-
like
is that-
bombers
is that-
and stuff. The
is that
bombers
what
have got top turrets, haven't they? So I'm guessing
I
they
thought
can.
there'd just be a severe penalty for it. If you know
Is
what I
that, is
mean.
that what it says on there? You can't shoot things at different altitudes?
Sure, that means
or-
you're just going to be chasing people through the altitudes all the time.
Which is the same as Blood Red Skies.
Yeah, yeah.
So, firing phase. Basically, we've covered most of. I mean, crashing doesn't need to be explained.
Yeah.
If you get to the pilot, if you get to 0, you crash. So, firing. Oh, there's also the spinning out of control, but you know, the player that moves first will also fire first. And once you've completely finished firing with one plane, the opponent chooses a plane, then you choose a plane until you've run out of
So
planes,
it
and then they
keeps-
do all their planes.
Alternating again.
So yeah, can't just ask that much just to say keep alternating. So, player selects a target for the aircraft to fire upon and determine if they're able to do so. Check firing arcs and range. Players determine how many firepower dice are rolled and the score required to hit each dice to hit on each dice and then roll to hit the target. If the weapon has an ammo characteristic of 1, 2 or 3, reduce the ammo characteristic by 1 for every time you fire the weapon. If any hits were scored on the firepower dice, these dice are rolled again as damage dice to determine if the target suffers any damaging hits which will cause it to lose structure points. Air-to-air fire is aircraft firing at other aircraft. In other words, both firer and target are airborne, travelling at altitude 1 or above. This is by far the most common form of firing. The following rules apply not only to firing during the firing phase, but also in the tailing phase. Oh God, I love that.
It is very wordy, isn't it? But I think it's one of those things where I read about something a while ago where they make books and print them in bigger prints because people like big books, and it's the difference between like a tiny thin book and the exact same number of words in a giant book. People think a giant book is better. And I think the same thing is that if they'd given you that and it was only like 12 pages, it doesn't look good as a rule book.
In order for an enemy aircraft to be targeted, it must meet certain criteria. It must be within the weapon's firing arc, within range. If the target is at a different altitude, it may be targeted but will be harder or impossible to hit. The aircraft that are stalled or in a spin may also be targeted but will be harder or impossible to hit.
So, basically, it doesn't matter what... Well, most of the time it shouldn't matter what altitude you are at, because you'd be able to shoot at them, but you'd be suffering penalties.
Yeah, because you're just shooting something that's below you moving faster. So it's going to be much harder to hit.
Now,
so you've got...
saying that, you've got on the quick reference, because this is what I remembered, you've got a -1 to the roll if you're stalled or you're spinning. You get a -1 per level of the altitude difference between the firing aircraft and its target.
How many altitude levels is there?
There are
5. Well,
Yeah,
there's actually
5.
more, but you're not supposed to go to them. You can go to 0 and hover or crash,
Yeah.
and you can go to 6 and risk stalling.
There is no 6 though.
That's why there isn't a 6. Because you go to 6, risk stalling, and then come back down to 5.
So 6 is just an instant stalling, isn't it? Because how can you not stall?
It's basically, if you go to 6, that is because you're trying to evade the other aircraft.
Right.
It's like, if I go to 6, are you going to risk going to 6 to shoot me?
Yeah.
I'll shoot you from 5.
Yeah, but I can see what you're saying now about altitudes, because realistically, if somebody's on like 1 and you're all the way up at 5, they're getting a -4 to shoot up at you.
So if you went to 6, it's -5, they can't hit you.
Yeah, so...
I will just look at the stalling thing for you, which I don't know where that was. It
I think
appeared
it's towards the end of the...
like...
Not the quick reference, it's at the end of the phase.
And the end of which phase? Movement?
No, end of the whole thing.
Oh,
So,
right.
Phase 6, like right at the very end.
Because it mentions stalling all the way through it, but then doesn't actually do anything about... So, alright, here we go. It's at the end of manoeuvring, yeah. Should an aircraft ever attempt to climb above its max altitude, above altitude 5, or attempt to climb to reduce its speed below the minimum speed for any reason, including player error, it will stall and risk falling to a spin. Stall token is placed beside the model on the tabletop as a reminder that during the end phase you must attempt to recover. Right, yeah. So you can go to 6 if you want, if you think it's going to help you, but then you have to see if you blow yourself up or something.
Yeah.
It also looks like here you can actually run out of ammo.
Yes. The Marauder destroyer, the bomber's got heavy bolters in the front which have got unlimited ammo. But things like the las cannons and stuff have got a limited supply.
So that makes it even more stupid that you can't crash into each other. Because what happens when you run out of guns?
So
Just fire out going...
That's just... This no crash thing I find very frustrating. It seems like such a simple rule that they could have just put in that you could just smash into each other if you're same altitude.
So, a fighter bomber, quad big shooters, turret big shooters, tail gun, all unlimited ammo.
Yeah.
Additional weaponry, pair of rockets, 1. and then it's got bombs for ground attack. So basically, the fighter bomber has got unlimited ammo with big shooters, and they are FPR, whatever FPR means. We'll find out in a minute. Quad big shooters is 840. I think FPR is probably range.
Before you
Like you
cover
do.
anything with that,
Unlimited.
what is the firing arc of these?
That's, front is 60, rear is 60 degrees, left is 120 degrees, right is 120 degrees. All round, some weapons can fire all round, that's 360. But then they're usually limited to firing up or down.
So,
Um,
with that being said then,
up means you can only target something above you, down means you can target something below you.
it says your firing arc is either a 60 degree, 120
Well,
or 360, yeah?
I mean, just in here, there is no weapon in this book other than the rockets that I've got a limited ammo. Everything else is unlimited.
Oh, right.
Now, as you're saying, with your firing arcs,
That's firepower. FPR, isn't it? Firepower.
Yeah.
yeah, with your firing arcs again, that's
Why didn't you say strength?
I know. Firing arcs, yeah.
If you notice, on the template, it's obviously divided into 6 quadrants.
Yeah.
Each one of those is 60 degrees.
I
So,
never thought about
Yeah.
with that as well, it means rather than protract or whatever to try and figure out your firing arcs, that's it on there as well.
120 or that's 120.
that. Yeah. I'm guessing they line up with these as well.
Yeah, because it means your front firing arc is 60
Yeah.
degrees. You're going to get the front square.
Well, that one.
Well, the front, yeah. Anything within.
All these line up.
Yeah.
So that's going to make shooting quite easy.
There'll be no arguing over that, will there?
No.
Which is the biggest.
And
thing.
I'm going to assume
There'll be no arguing over facing either, because you can only face in one direction there.
Yeah.
the question is though, if it goes through the middle, will you still count as being able to be
Yeah,
targeted?
because you can see half.
Well, no, if
yeah.
you've got a plane here, you can see him because he's in the arc.
100%.
Well, it'd be half and half, won't it?
Yeah, but you're in it.
Yeah,
aren't
yeah,
you?
I'm saying,
Yeah.
as long as half your ship is in the arc, would it count? Or count?
Yeah, must do.
To which hopefully it will do.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Yeah, it'd be easy to just set strength. So the first number is short range, the second number is medium range, and the last number is long range. 1 to 4 hexes away. Does that include the 4th, or is that the 5th hex?
It literally will be it'll be from there.
So 1, 2, 3, plane here.
Yeah,
is
so it'll
close
be the
range,
4th
plane
hex.
there is long range.
Yeah.
So, for example, short range on a fighter bomber, 8 dice with quad big shooters. If you're at medium range, 4 dice, and if you're at long range, which is 8 to 10 hexes, I mean that's miles away.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
It
7.
means you at least
8.
you can
you
actually
get
do
to
some
there.
damage while you're across the board.
So that's
Yeah.
0.
So you can't shoot that.
Quad big shooters, nothing. Quad big shooters. Las cannon. A las cannon doesn't have any shots within close range. It has 2 shots at medium and 1 shot at long.
Surely at close range, last count, so you have to charge it.
That's probably why.
Yeah, I'm guessing you need to charge it before you can fire
It's
it.
not Insta, is it?
Yeah. That's interesting. So I was thinking the last cannons would be like really super, but actually they're not that super.
I don't know if you,
If you get a hit though,
if
then
you can do long range shots with it, if you know what I mean.
if you get a hit, they damage. They do a structure point on a 2+.
Which is
and-
not bad, and then like I say, if you're
So-
shooting at 10 squares away,
Yeah.
that's not bad. is
Even
it?
a 1
That's not
dice, it
bad.
can't be too bad, is it?
Yeah.
So that's your firepower sorted. Roll to hit.
One's better than none.
So the only negative to hit is whether it's spinning or stalling or altitude differences.
Yeah, that's it. Which 9 times out of 10 is going to be the altitude difference that gets you rather than stalling.
Yeah, 100%.
Random question: What do you hit on?
You know, got toughness.
Oh right, hang on. Yeah, sorry, I completely missed that because I didn't make it really obvious like everything else in the book. I just skipped the first. I skipped the first 3 lines because I just thought it's fucking bollocks. It actually says in aid 5+ to it.
The D6 roll required to hit a target with air fire is always 5+.
That's better than Bloodless Skies.
Yeah,
That's a 6 on Bloodless Skies.
Yeah.
Like it not already.
But saying that though,
Like
as soon as you get that 1 level in altitude difference, you're on 6s.
Yeah. So.
And then it's impossible once you reach 2 levels unless there's stuff that brings that 5.
So you always got to make sure you're at least 1 level distance from someone.
So for example,
Matt's going to roll, he's going to fluff it.
they're going to fire a Thunderbolt fighter, a Thunderbolt Fury, with its Avenger bolt cannon. We're going to do it at medium range, which is 7 dice, at a fighter bomber. Fighter bomber has got 3 structure points, and we're hitting on 5s because they're both at the same level.
So I take it you've got no saves.
The save is now, do you cause damage? On a 4+, I cause damage.
So you've got 3 hits out of that.
1 damage point.
So that's it. You rolled a hit, then you roll it on your damage.
The fighter bomber fires back with only rear, right, yeah, so it's only got front. So that would be 4 dice to fire back into with. And he hits obviously on 5s. And he causes damage on a 5. Yeah. Imperial's going to win it easy.
So I take it.
Yeah, 100% the more I look at it.
With what you done there, is it one of those he shoots you, you can shoot back in the same fighting bits, or?
Yeah, we've done all the movement and we end up in front of each other.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, no, there's nothing retaliation-wise. It literally.
No, it isn't like in Bloodless Skies where head on you get to fire back. It's just I shoot, then you shoot.
You shoot, I shoot. Yeah.
It's alternate, yeah. He's tailing. I don't know when I'm tailing. Is that literally like you just get a free round of shooting at my house?
It looks like it's just a free round of shooting.
If I'm, how many squares and do I have to be directly behind you? What's, you know?
Because at the moment, all it says for tailing in the quick reference is you get to shoot first before the
But what
movement
counts
phase.
as
Okay,
tailing?
I'll have to look at that then.
Is it
won't we?
directly behind you? Is it like a square behind you?
It's got to be within a certain arc, isn't it?
Yeah, I just think directly behind is really difficult to do.
Well, yes, we can talk about Blood Red Scars.
It does make sense though about moving above the altitude now.
Yeah.
I've seen it because on a 5+ you hit. So
If I'm
If-
2 above you, you can't.
no,
get
if I'm at 4 and you're at 5, but then you go to 6, then I can't hit you.
Yeah.
You risk stalling, but I'm guessing when you stall, you fall one altitude each turn.
Yeah.
So you've got chances of coming out your stall.
Well, technically, you have 6 turns of coming out of your stall, haven't you?
Yeah.
So
Right,
that
so-
should work for you.
Special situation tailing. The pilot has got his willy out. Oh,
Matt's flying again.
No one expected that.
no one expected that. It says it, yeah. Tailing is the term used to describe a situation of one aircraft being directly behind the other aircraft. It's a very good position for an aircraft to be in, firstly because the majority of aircraft do not have weapons that face the rear, unless it seems to be this Orc aircraft that has loads of weapons facing the rear, and so it cannot return fire. Secondly, because a pilot is able to easily track the tailed aircraft, enabling them to bring huge amounts of firepower to bear in a short space of time. This is
Nice.
represented in game by tailing fire phase. When an aircraft is tailing or not, as determined in the end phase on page 22, so we still haven't got any more information from this special situation explanation of tailing.
I reckon it's probably.
What is, other than fill in the book, the point of that box?
I think it explains something.
That box has just explained what the box at the front explained. That said, this will be explained later.
Realistically, it explains exactly what it says in the tailing bit of the quick reference, which is 2 sentences.
And it's got weapon special rules, which are like extra damage and tail gunner and ground attack and aerial. So the extra damage 6+ for the, was it las cannon? Oh, the Avenger bolt cannon. Does it got any 6s but Avenger bolt cannon?
Couldn't remember.
1 with the hit.
So extra damage on 6. If weapon has extra damage special rule, also have a number of brackets. When rolling damage, if equal or exceed the extra damage number, it causes 2 structure points rather than 1. So a 6 with the Avenger cannon to actually do the damage would have done 2 damage points. So I'm always seeing possibly the Thunderbolt Fury being the one of choice for people, because it is basically 2 points more, but the Avenger Bolt Cannon has a firepower 370 compared to 260 and has extra damage 6+. So for 2 points you probably take that one, just so you've got the chance in blowing them out of the sky faster.
Yeah.
More shots and a better damage.
I suppose we need a complete rulebook to work out if there's any penalisation on how many ships you actually take, or is it purely off like build 100 point list?
I think you're just going to build a 100-point list or something, aren't you?
Yeah, possibly.
Was there anything in the front of the book about squadrons?
How you build it?
Squadron list section of the book, C27. We haven't reached that page yet. 27 is there. Players should agree to a points value between 25 and 250. Yeah.
25 seems like
10 aircraft.
25 seems like you're just going to have 1 aircraft each.
This is for dogfight. It's the scenario in here. There's other. There's no recommended for it. There's no recommended points to play on like a 3x3 or something with. So you could literally just put 10 aircraft on the thing and just fly around and blow each other out of the sky. The game lasts 12 turns, or until one side is forced to disengage, or until one player has aircraft left, until only one player has aircraft left in the engagement area.
Do you reckon when they say 12 turns, they're counting each player's turn as a turn?
No, I think it's rounds, probably.
Well, you don't have play, it's alternating. So one turn, you alternate who's moving, who's shooting.
I think it's 12 rounds.
So it's like
so it's more like 12 rounds then, isn't it? Yeah.
So you roll initiative, I move a plane, you move a plane, I move a plane, you move a plane, I move a plane, you move a plane. All the planes finish moving, I shoot a plane, you shoot a plane, I shoot a plane, you shoot a plane, I shoot a plane, you shoot a plane.
12 rounds of that. That's... Saying that though, you're not
might
gonna
end
last
quite
long.
fast.
From the sounds of how you're doing damage, I think it's going to end
it's
a lot
gonna end a lot
faster
sooner
than
than that,
12
won't it?
rounds.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's going to be quite fast.
I think like turn 1 you're probably going to, if you have a good shooting phase, you might take out 2 planes turn 1.
I'd like to try it. Initially, I'm just looking at the book thinking, what the fuck, but then going, this could be an AOS pamphlet, if they really tried.
Yeah.
And I reckon what they've done is they've got all the backlash of people going, Age of Sigmar, it's only a 4-page book, it must be too simple. And they've gone, right, the gamers want something more wordy, so let's give them a big pamphlet.
Yeah, it's exactly what I said. It seems like you could add an additional page to this. It's everything you've just told.
Yep. So and this is funny because my initial was, I picked it up and looked at it and went, oh my god.
Yeah, you was quite negative about it, weren't you?
Hell, look at all these rules. And that's just moving.
But realistically,
And realistically, I just went,
It's gone.
oh right, so you do your movement, you can go up and down by 2, and great. That was 1 page of A4.
Yeah.
So, to all the people who like the complex shit in the rule books, there's no point to it. That's why I like AOS, because it's... I mean, the Warhammer rulebook was the same, wasn't it? It was just full. Was fantasy.
Oh god, that first core book that they brought out, it was like 8% low.
80 odd... You know the core rulebook in fantasy? When it was like 100 pages of rules and 100 pages of lore. It was like... you could kill somebody with it.
Look at that 8th edition that they released with the Dark Imperium box. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy big book, and then it's the back 20% you actually...
See, I actually quite like the whole easy peasy.
Yeah. Like I say, I'd much prefer like a 3-page pamphlet to pick up the game, rather than a rule book that's trying to make out it's more than it is. 100%.
See, right, all that movement...
Because shooting is piss easy as well.
Yeah, it says it all here. The shooting stuff was described pretty easily in there.
All that movement and throttle stuff you had to go through and you got complicated with. Listen to this, right? Each aircraft follows the same sequence. You do your throttle, your movement and manoeuvre, then you adjust altitude. Throttle. Use the aircraft's throttle characteristic to adjust its speed. Move and manoeuvre. Move the aircraft using the ACE manoeuvres diagram as a guide. The distance between each stage of the manoeuvre can vary depending on the speed at which the aircraft is travelling. And move and manoeuvre is covered in more detail on page 14. Adjust altitude. After an aircraft has completed its movement, it can adjust its altitude to represent the aircraft climbing or diving as it manoeuvres. So that is how many pages summarised there?
7, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. So saying this quick reference sheet, considering what you're having to go through with that book, it does look very nice. This is pretty much Blood Red Skies. The only difference is you've got set manoeuvres.
Yeah, and higher altitudes rather than just 1, 2 and 3 they've got.
Yeah, your speed is always changing. With Blood Red Skies you've got a box standard speed you've got to stick to. With this, you can change it.
Well, no, you don't. You've got minimum move of half rounding down up to your maximum. That's all this is.
But you just got to turn it instead then.
There's a minimum move on each plane.
I just wish they put...
Yeah, minimum speed 2, max speed 5. In Blood Red Skies, if you've got a movement 9, your minimum speed is 4.
Yeah.
Min 4, max 9.
I just wish they put less money into that and given us very similar to like the Warcry cards. I just think the Warcry cards would benefit so massively just having those cards in front of you that just tell them you, and it would be such an easy game to play.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like this, you're just constantly diving into that book to find, oh, what's my short range? Oh, what's my long range?
Well, that's the same as this, but hopefully
is just pissing
all
me
that
off.
has the cards in.
Right, so...
Yeah, they have the cards, but again, it's something else I'm having to buy.
No, I mean, in the actual box. The box might actually have, like you've got the Marauder Destroyers there.
Yeah.
Have a look on the other side to see if it actually comes with cards for those models.
This box contains 2 Marauder Destroyers. These products require assembly and painting.
Nothing about
no,
cards.
It does not look like it has anything to do with
So
cards.
it does mean, unfortunately, having to buy the cards on top of the models.
Yeah.
But that's probably not too much of a bad thing, considering you're going to need those cards anyway with the aces and all the extra tricks and
Yeah,
plans
I
that
mean,
come
don't get me wrong, we're all aware that GW puts a lot of things into its games where it makes you buy additional stuff. We're all aware of that.
Oh, yeah.
Just, it seems like they've released a game recently which I felt had a lot of really good stuff for a starter set. They just don't seem to have put that into this starter set.
Yeah, so like they
Which
put
I would
all
prefer.
of the effort into the previous one before this, rather than putting a lot of effort into this.
Yeah, I just feel like, yeah, the Warcry one is more expensive. I just found a lot of stuff about the Warcry one I really liked in comparison to what we've got here, personally.
Bored.
Yeah, the board, not having the cards straight out of the box, so you just have the 2
I
base.
like the idea of the cards in the box, that would have been good.
Yeah, because then you could have just been like, boosh, boosh, they're in front of you, you could just play with them straight away. It's better than, oh, you've got the book, is there a chance I could borrow it on my turn? I just need to know what last cannon rules are. Oh, no, I need to know if I can shoot backwards. And we're doing this.
Yeah, so
Instead
saying
of
at the start, you're turning
spending
a frame too much.
£16 to not do that.
16? How many cards do you get?
19, 26, 34, 6 and 8. So 93 cards.
I suppose it's not too bad for 93 cards, but still, it's a lot.
93 cards for £16. Obviously, I know it's cheaper from here, but at the same time, it's something free in another game exactly like this.
Yeah. Do you get the cards in the boxes?
No.
No, that we just
So again, Blood Red Skies.
Yeah.
All the cards and upgrade cards for the planes are in the boxes.
Yeah.
And it's 20 quid for 6 planes compared to 25 quid without the cards. Yes, okay, these are multi-part kits, but the Blood Red Sky stuff is as good as that. I mean, the castings aren't as good as some of the Games Workshop stuff, but it comes, I mean, the Mosquito comes in just 2 halves.
But,
So-
I mean, again, I don't want to keep bringing it back to Warcry, but when you buy a Warcry warband, the cards are in the box with it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I feel like you shouldn't have to buy one thing to start in a game, but you also have to buy this second thing because you can't play without it. Don't get me wrong, you can play without it because you've got that there, but at the moment they haven't released a core rulebook. So if you wanted to use these destroyers rather than what's in this box, you have to buy those cards.
Now,
But then they're going to release a core rulebook, which you're going to have to buy as well.
what about though? You got things like Battlescribe.
Yeah, but Battlescribe won't be updated for ages,
No.
and then Battlescribe unfortunately never gets updated with all the FAQs they always bring.
No, so that's it. So you don't even know where you get all the stats for that as well, do you?
Oh, so
Mm.
I just honestly think at this point in time, those cards are out for like, they seem to be the first step before they give us a full rulebook. I can see why they haven't given us a full rulebook at this point, because they'd have to tell you all the factions that they're going to do.
Yeah,
before
it's
they
going to
release
spoil way too much, isn't it?
But I just think it's like, pay £16 while we wait for this next thing to come out. And then
Yeah,
in 2 months' time, when we've told you the factions, pay for this one as well, which is everything that's in that £16 you've already paid.
Mhm.
It just seems like you're paying to wait.
Have you found the?
I've been waiting to tell you all about stalling.
Yeah, come on.
Go right ahead.
You've-
About to say because
I
that's
just
what
thought
you
I'd
were
let you
looking at,
talk.
wasn't it?
No, go right
I've got it
ahead.
open on the page.
Okay, go on. Stolen.
Again, it's a paragraph. Basically, if you're going to stall, you've got a stall counter beside you. You roll a handling dice.
Yeah.
Handling on a Thunderbolt is like 3 up. So if you get a 3 or more, you don't stall.
Okay.
If you get a 2 or 1, then you fall into a spin,
Okay.
which means you decrease your height by 1 and
Okay.
put a spin counter on. Then recovering from a spin is the same thing, I think, by the looks of things. So recovering from a spin, which is half a side of A4 nearly.
You roll a d6 for each aircraft that has fallen into a spin. If the score is equal or higher than the aircraft's
Well, couldn't you just told us this?
I could have done, yeah.
Fuck's sake, you've been fighting the rule book.
No, not only that, but you've got the bit about tailing, and you can see there.
So you've got tailing there.
Yes, but this also covers the firing arcs and what counts and what doesn't. Now,
Oh right, a half doesn't count as
yes.
tailing.
So with our arcs, if you've got a plane in half of the arc, it doesn't work. It
Like
needs
that.
to be fully within your arc, your eyesight.
Yeah, so that isn't tailing. But that,
Will be. Because if you're going down this line here,
yeah. The
that's
whole
full.
the whole of the front plane has got to be in your arc.
And is that your short range arc or your long range arc?
Any arc.
Just
Any arc? So,
Hang on.
like, even if.
find out.
Short or medium.
Short.
I
There
was
you
going to
go.
say, because that seems ridiculous. Like, oh, he's tailing me.
To be
Oh
honest,
hell no!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just
Oh, he's going to do it now, ain't he? Oh, where's that one from?
That's
Yeah.
just a bit.
you just out of tailing. That is tailing.
That's ridiculous. That's not tailing at all. Don't get me wrong, if you're short.
And on that arc, everything in that sector is tailed.
After that tailing, you're going to take people out non-stop.
That's mental. That is absolutely mental. Saying that though,
Same
You're never
altitude
going to
or
get-
1 altitude above or below.
it's very rare you're going to get to the back arc on that kind of bit as well, because everyone's going to be facing towards you, aren't they?
I don't know, because.
But until somebody goes, oh, I've crashed into you doing that wonderful thing. Way.
Yeah, but the thing is we're just thinking about 2 up here. If you've got 5 up here, yeah, you're facing at that one. I might have them just all over the shop. So I'm getting tailing every turn off one of them.
It's going to be a lot of fire.
Yeah, and I feel like tailing, from what I'm seeing, is realistically it just pays dividends to just be on the edge of the map doing a big old loop. Realistically, that's more dangerous because you might go out, but I'm interested to play it.
As long as you keep 1 or 2 planes at the back,
That's why flying the formation would be handy.
you're going to be able to tell, aren't you?
100%, that's what I was thinking.
Because like if you've got a formation of aircraft and then someone gets tailing on like your front or other guys, these guys just go, I'm tailing already, mate.
Yeah.
Remember that comment we had on one of the videos about, you fly in pairs, that way one tails, one does the shooting.
Yeah, there's a lot of tactics you put into this game, isn't there?
But at least that completely covers the question about 1, your firing arc, 2, and tailing. You can only tail up to your medium range.
Up to your medium range.
To which, if you got a weapon that's crazy long range,
like a last cannon,
yeah,
you're tailing at 6.
for medium.
I feel like that last cannon is shooting a lot.
Soon as you get to being reduced to 25% of your starting strength, your last turn is called. Whether it's turn 2 or turn 9.
So, example, if you had a points of 250, 25% of that, if you're down to that, then that's going to be your last turn.
Yeah, so it says you've only got 12 turns of fuel. As soon as you get to 12 turns, you are out of fuel, you're going to be going home.
And is that points or models? Because it does not...
Starting numbers.
So that would be planes. I was going to say, because points, if it's points, it does not play dividends to have like one fuck-ass thing and like 3 little
because
guys.
it will proper do
the
your own.
fuck-ass, and then you're out again.
But plane-wise though...
So
yeah, plane-wise it makes sense.
Should it ever happen that only one player has any aircraft left in the area, the game automatically ends. It'd be really shitty to make the guy play another 6 turns after destroying. Like, you've destroyed all my aircraft, but you've still got to play another 6 turns.
Yeah.
So I want you to see you move all your aircraft around, please.
Yeah.
So basically you don't need to say that, because that's basically covered by insurmountable losses, because the last aircraft flying will never be the last aircraft flying. As soon as the last aircraft flying is flying, you've took more than 25% of your planes, so this is the last turn.
I don't know how much I like that 25% either, because in the same vein as we were just talking about, well, one fuck-ass guy, if you just take out his escort, your big guy means nothing to me anymore. So your big guy that's just tearing up my planes, I've took out his escort, so it's your last turn.
Yeah. It's just him and his own.
Yeah.
Good luck with
it doesn't play dividends to
regardless
have
of whether that big ship is a flying fortress that cannot be taken
out.
out.
I mean, it's had no damage to it.
I'm guessing
2 pilots
that can easily take out all these little fighters going on.
I would have thought it should have been points.
Yeah.
25% of your starting points.
Because that's like me and you playing. My knight army's only got 4 knight. My 1,000-point list only has 4. And that's 1 knight and 3 armigers.
Yeah.
If you take out 2 of my armigers, is that me tabled? No, my knight's still kicking the fuck out of it. No, I don't like that.
Well, no, because that's only 50%.
But then, okay, you take out 3 armigers and I've still got a knight left. That knight can still stomp your force down. That shouldn't be the end of my...
No,
that should not be the end.
In the same sense, it's like saying, you've got 10 planes, I've got the big guy and 1 escort.
Bang.
Kill the escort.
Last turn, Matt.
Last turn, Matt.
That's ridiculous.
Well, that's half though, isn't it?
It's half, it's not 25%.
Yeah, no, sorry, that's half. So, alright, let's do this. So you've got 10 planes, I've got the big guy and the little guy, right? You kill the little guy, this guy don't give a shit. They're still flying, he's fine. You kill the big guy, I've still got half my force left.
Yeah.
But now, big guy's gone, and that little guy's going,
What?
wow, I'm facing 10 planes now. This guy can take 10 planes, he can't. So, like you said, points, he's probably 400 points and he's probably 2 points.
Yeah, I just think...
So if he dies, he don't give a shit. But if he dies, he's like, whoa, bye.
The same example,
So,
you come out like 10 planes and I've got like that big Bess that's getting released, that fuck-ass plane, and like 3 little ships to escort. you just go around the back and destroy my free escorts,
and then
game's over.
you've bugged out, yeah.
Whereas like Bess is there just taking planes left and right, and it could possibly win on its own. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I think if you're going to table somebody, you should table them or go to the 12. Or do the objective scenarios. I don't think you should have another win condition. Because that seems like people are just going to play more tactically trying to take your weaker ships out.
I think it should be down to points.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd be quite happy to say, you know, if we were playing to points, Big Bess went, yeah, I've lost.
Yeah,
because I put all the points in that guy, and you've done well to take it out. That little plane ain't going to do shit. It's just going to fly home and find another Big Bess.
Even lore-wise, what does the big ship give a shit that its escorts have gone?
Exactly.
The big ship goes, the head ship's gone. Let's get the fuck out of here. What does that give a fuck? No, I don't like that. That's right there with the crash rule that I do not like.
So, I think we'll play it by points.
Yeah.
Play a 100-point game, last 25 points, see if you bug out.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't just be a bug out, you should have got a choice. Do you want to carry on? Why not?
Yeah. But
my guy's a hero.
Yeah, but then realistically, unless you were playing a campaign, you would just go, alright, I'll just keep going because I just want to keep fighting and see how much damage I do to you.
Because what it might be is that all your ships are on 1 damage, and my ship's on full health.
Yeah.
So actually, with a bit of good flying, my guy's going to kill yours.
Well, the exact example.
But because you've got all your planes still, and I've lost 2 of mine, I'm going to bug out and go home.
Well, the example
without a choice.
We're just talking about, you have a full health knight against a bunch of wounded shit. It might go on to win the rest of that game. You have like a full health, one of the like destroyers, and I've got a bunch of weak ass orc ships that are almost dead. You could still win that game.
Yeah. It's a lot to play for, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like that rule.
So, but once you've reached the 25%, you then have your disengagement turn. So you have another turn, and then that's it. Secure any during the disengagement turn. Both players attempt to secure any mission objectives possible as described in the scenario, or attempt to voluntarily disengage by manoeuvring aircraft under their control so that they cross the edge of the area of engagement and disengage, thus reducing the victory points they may concede to their opponent.
Really?
So if you voluntarily fly off the table, you don't get a point for that.
Yeah.
If I'm on the table and I've lost the game, you get a point for the plane that I've
kept on the board.
So, victory points for aircraft are calculated as a percentage of the aircraft's total points cost, including extra points spent. Enemy aircraft that are reduced to 0 structure points and removed from play are worth 100% of their points. For example, whereas an enemy aircraft that are voluntarily disengaged are worth none of their points. So if you think you're going to lose,
bug out.
It's down to 1 structure point, it's flown away.
So really, what you could
all that firepower you just put on is wasted. Yeah.
So really, you could kind of destroy one of your ships, get full points for destroying it, one of your planes,
and
then get the rest of your guys and just bug out.
Like I said, I just think there's enough win conditions already if they just stick to 40k of like objectives or you table them.
And if my force, if one force is of a lower points value than the opponent, the difference is awarded to the player with the higher points value. For example, if the start of the game one player is worth 150, the other is worth 160, the player with the 150 point force is awarded 4 victory points in addition to any other one. So basically, spend those points. Otherwise, you just hand in your opponent 4 VPs at the start of the game.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Person who scores the most wins, unless you got scenario.
Yeah.
So, but I won't look at the scenario. Yeah, it's pretty good. It could be a
I take it
more straightforward explanation. To be honest, that's sufficient.
I take it with most of the setup as well. You're starting on the edge of the board because that would make sense rather than so many hexes in.
I thought deployments would be corners.
Actually, when it, I would say board edge would be paper edge, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like I say, I just think corners, and then you just set up.
Within 3 hexes of the edge of the engagement area.
Wow. Okay. Oh wow. I'll be damned. So, yeah. 3 hexes in. So you're looking at deployment area, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ah! If one player's force is smaller than their opponent's by 5 points or more, they automatically have the initiative on the first turn. So yes, you're handing victory points to your opponent, but you're getting the initiative on turn 1. Which means if you've got things with las cannons, you could actually get a pot shot in turn 1 on the opponent with your las cannons.
Well, yeah, you're moving and shooting first, aren't you?
Mm. So that could be an interesting
So, example then, 3 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You know what it hasn't covered?
11. You're looking at 11. But if you've got a movement of at least 5, that's taken down to a range of 6.
How fast do you start?
How fast?
What speed?
I think you start at the minimum and then build up.
But you're already flying in.
Yeah, but you coast in for your minimum, don't you? Most fighters coast and then they go up to the full speed when they're fighting.
You probably actually select if it's playing like 4 and 5. If it's like something like your minimum speed is 2, your maximum is 5, you probably just choose a random number between then and a random height.
Oh, players may choose the speed and altitude before setting up.
Boom. There you go.
It was straight after the 3 hexes thing, I didn't bother reading on.
To which you might as well start
Hands up!
at the highest height,
Admit it.
at the highest speed.
I'd have a spread. I'd probably have a spread with moving slow.
I'd probably start slow because
With the Imperial
It's
Guard
it's
stuff,
easier
you
to-
want them to get like into the middle of the board and you don't move a lot and then you can just shoot everything at them.
I would start probably middle height because that's +1, you know, like up and down.
Yeah.
No one's really going to start on 0, so if somebody starts on 1, then you're not going to hit them, but then who's going to start on 1?
Yeah, you'd easily
They're going to start on 2 or 4 maybe.
I've got 3.
So
So you're middle of the pack, aren't
I'm
you?
thinking start middle
Yeah.
at a high to medium speed, because then you've got the option of diving. If your opponent does start at 1, in your first turn you can dive down 1.
Yeah.
Slows you down. You're then 1 level, which then he's got the option of, shit, I've got to climb
Yeah.
or dive. If I dive, I'm going to crash, so I'm going to climb. So he climbs to the same as you, or stays at the same. So if he stays at the same, then he's losing options for the future.
So it just means if you go in middle range, you're keeping your options open.
Yeah.
If you go high or low, you're cutting your options.
Yeah.
To which, if you've got someone coming in at 6 straight off, all you need to do is have all your guys in at 5.
I mean, the person who comes in at full speed and full height, as soon as he goes down 1, he's gone past his max speed.
Yeah.
He's going to blow up.
I'd go high and slow. Because then it makes it more versatile as far as you're watching what they're doing, and then you can start to descend and pick up speed after you've seen what they're doing.
See, I'd be going for the opening shot myself.
Yeah.
Start high and slow,
Well, say that though, all
and your
this
opponent starts at 3. You've just got to drop to 2.
all this is dependent on your stats as well, isn't it? If you know you've got that long range weapon.
Well, it's like Battlefleet Gothic when you had the Gothic cruiser with the big bloody Nova cannon.
Yeah.
It always moved at slow speed. Every manoeuvre was slow speed, and it went.
Yeah, because why would you move something that's shooting the board towards them faster? You don't need to, do you really?
Played the mobile game. That was awesome. I was just like, you just buy as many of them as you can, and just set everything to slow speed and just fire off at everything incoming.
Yeah, I've played the PC, the second one they brought out really recently, and there's a bunch of Adeptus Mechanicus ships that just have a huge iron cannon at the front that just shoots the board, and you can just set those to full stop, and then you just send out scouts that are just in front, and then you just like, now I'll just set all 6 of these to just shoot iron cannons, and you're just knocking out medium orc vessels like across the board, and then you're just like, and now we'll move.
Now there's not much left.
But that's a really good game if you get hold of that on Steam. That's a really super fun game, especially like some of the like Space Marine battle barges that like can do like a full burn, like crash into stuff and just bust the ship open and stuff like that. That's really fun. There's like boarding torpedoes and you have to have like certain arcs for it.
See, on the mobile version, it wasn't as in depth as that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Generally, the mobile versions of any
Still
sequel
good,
are quite
but
simplified compared to the full version.
the Steam version, like I said, it's very, very, very in depth. I think it's come down in price quite recently.
I wouldn't mind playing Aeronautica Imperialis aircraft game.
Yeah.
PC.
But they're supposed, I think
Well,
they're doing
tough.
that
Play
with a lot.
this version first.
They're doing a lot of that.
I don't understand this version.
There's a Shadespire game and a Necromunda game coming out, and the
Yeah.
Shadespire game is literally just the tabletop game.
Of course, they've got the Mordheim game, haven't they?
Yeah,
So-
the Mordheim game's a bit different though. But I don't think the Necromunda is going to be like a straight Necromunda, if you know what I mean.
So our verdict.
Overall, verdict on Aeronautica Imperialis.
Your opinions first, Josh. What do you think?
I can see it being obviously.
He wasn't paying attention at all.
I got no idea.
Your opinions. 30 seconds of dead air.
Right. I did say at the start, it's either going to go one or two ways. It's going to be lots of rules that can simplify down quite quickly and play quite nicely, or it's going to be lots of rules and going to be complicated to play.
Okay.
It's end up being lots of rules, simplified down, easy to play. When you break it down, it's just the hardest bit is these manoeuvres.
Yeah. I think realistically, when we ask people's opinions, do you think it's got legs in it? Would you play it?
I would
Those
play
two
this.
questions.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I would play this. I'm not
All right, calm down.
I'm just trying to get it into a bite-sized thing of, would you play and buy this game?
I would
And
play
do
and
you
buy
think
this
it
game.
has-
I'm not happy with the board, but I would play it. I would happily play it.
Do you think it has proper legs to it?
At the moment, it could do a bit more. But I've not actually played it yet. This is all based on the rules. Once I play it, then it'll be a case of definitely yes or definitely no.
Matt, same question. Would you play and buy this game realistically, based off what we've done this evening?
That goes no, I mean too much dirt.
Matt plays more games than any of us.
Initially, no, I wouldn't have.
No, because you were proper
I'd-
annoyed about those movies.
If I'd have bought this
Yeah.
and gone home, so I went to Games Workshop, I bought it today, really excited about it coming out, opened it up, went, yeah, great, play it,
Well,
we'll have a quick
well,
look through the book.
Why would you go to Games Workshop? You own your own shop.
No, alright.
He's doing it. He's doing a scenario.
Average Bob. I'm average Bob on the street who doesn't know that Last Bastion exists. Goes to the local Games Workshop. He buys it, he got there really early, 10 o'clock, standing outside, first person in. Oh, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to buy... Spent £200 on it, got home, went, right, crack open the box.
There's space in the box.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, it's alright, because it'll get better.
Yeah.
I opened the rule book, because I always do first, I always get the rule book out
Yeah,
first.
100%. Yeah, I'm with you.
And I go, oh yeah, look at that, oh, really nice pictures in the front, I'm really excited, really excited, really excited. What the fuck? What's all this shit? What are dice? What are race manoeuvres and tote? Okay. That's alright, I'll just get past that bit. Well that's all, yeah. What? And I'd just be like, this, what?
Yeah.
And I've lost it then.
You're losing interest when you find out
Like
there's too
excitement.
many pages of rules.
It's like when I opened this book on there, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I read it, and then I went, oh right, no, it's really easy. It lost me.
Yeah.
It lost me in the first 2 pages of rules. Because the first 2 pages of the rule should have been 2 lines.
Yeah.
Can't like
What
can't
should-
like half years and watching
see-
this figure at the start.
Normally, when you get that and look at it, you're lost.
Yeah.
Because you look at that and it's normally... So how do I move?
Go
And you've
to-
got to go to the rule
Go
book.
to page 187. Go to
But
page
actually,
112.
this is all you need, really. And you can have a nice simple... You can actually start playing it with this.
Yeah.
Just by going, oh, right, so let's start a game then. Let's get our planes out. Oh, right, choose our manoeuvres. Okay, cool. That's them.
Yeah.
Easy. So it did lose me when I opened the rule book. I'm not particularly thick. I'm close, but I'm not particularly thick.
But you play a lot of games.
It did lose me. Very much like reading the Black Powder rule book. Or the Antares rule book.
Yeah.
To me, this was when I first opened Black Powder and Antares, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it looks half decent, but seriously? And I had to read it 3 or 4 times. This, I would have had to have read it all day, and then just gone, what a fucking waste of time.
Yeah.
Did you remember?
It's so easy. And then I would have probably just gone,
I'll come back to it later.
watch TV.
Okay. So your general overall verdict is you wouldn't, after what we've been through, you wouldn't buy and play this game personally. Your own personal. Obviously, the shop is very different.
Okay, so
You personally.
that is the scenario of me. I've gone to Games Workshop and bought it.
First thoughts.
I would be disheartened when I got home.
Yeah.
Then I would have gone to Games Workshop
Yeah.
and played a game of it.
Yeah.
And I would have gone, what? I'm sure it was harder than that.
Yeah.
And then probably liked it. Depending on who was teaching me and what. Now, in hindsight, looking at what I've looked at, having seen what we've discussed tonight, I would quite happily go to a shop and buy it. Knowing
You know what's
what
coming.
I know.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm going to open the rule book and go, right, well, the first 10 pages are just bollocks. I'll just turn straight to movement.
Yeah.
Because the first few pages, in fact, yeah, I'll ignore the first 2 pages of movement and go straight to move and manoeuvre.
Yeah.
Because the first 2 pages are saying, well, you can throttle up, you've got a maximum speed. And it's like, yeah, we've got all that, you've just told me all that because it says it on the fucking card.
It's giving you useless information.
It's
basically.
explaining there what max and min speed is. Next page, in movement, max and min speed. What the hell?
Yeah.
Seriously. That's why, I mean, to me, I'm not a massive reader, and I get bored easily.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
The first 3 pages of this book killed the game. If they didn't have that and it went straight to the easy, like AOS is, AOS catches you, you learn it quick, and then you build your models and play a game.
Yeah.
Well, do you notice that?
Which is what this could be. So yeah, I mean, obviously I said that over about 10 minutes, but to answer your question, knowing what I know, yes, I would buy it and play it.
And do you think that this has got legs in it based off what
I
you've
think
read?
if they bring out enough factions, everybody who plays 40k would probably like to play this because it'll tie in nicely to campaigns. You could actually have a game of 40k running, this beside it, and have air power coming in.
Yeah.
Your air power could be going around. You could actually have anti-aircraft weapons like the Hydra, which are only really useful against like anybody who's brought a flyer.
Which
The
is
Hydra
not-
could be actually shooting up at the things on the aeronautical table.
And again, for campaign play, you could
For
have...
campaign play, you could have also landings and everything. I think it ties in quite nicely, a lot better than Drop Zone, as it Drop Fleet Commander.
Drop Fleet Commander.
We played Drop Fleet Commander, and actually that was a harder rulebook than this to learn. Me and Mike took us 2 weeks reading the rulebook to figure out the rules.
Jesus.
And that killed it for us. We'd built some things and painted them and just went, fuck it, let's put it in a box and forget about it. So yeah, this, if it needs to be, rather than somebody buying it and taking it home and reading it, it needs to be somebody in the shop saying, here's Aeronautica, this is how it plays.
It needs to be talked about first before they buy it. If anyone's going to buy this, They need someone to actually say in that shop, right, if you're going to buy this, don't get daunted by the rules.
In all fairness,
it's simple to play, this, that and the other, come down, we'll show it or demo it first.
From what I experienced in workshop when I worked there, most of the people who come into workshop, and including my shop, I'm not saying they're dim, but everybody's got a difficulty, and most of the difficulties are attention span. Hence why we all own 70 armies.
Yeah.
We start building, we come in, we spend 200 quid, we start building in our army, and then we're looking at the next thing to buy.
69 of them are in bits.
Yeah, you've got like 2 squads built and 1 half built. You've got some boxes still stacked up, and you're there thinking, I really fancy doing orcs next.
What about you, Joe?
What about me? To answer the 2 questions, my overall opinion of it.
Considering Matt took half hour explaining, you've got half hour as well.
Okay, no, I'll probably be a bit quicker. My overall opinion, would I think that's the big question of would I buy and play this game? Probably not. I'll be completely honest with you. It seems very.
That's fun.
It's interesting, and I'm interested to play it. And I'll be honest, if you guys have a store copy, I'll be interested to play it. But for me personally, in the tier system of games, it's not coming in. It's not coming in like the top 3 where I spend money.
No, I mean, well, you are quite limited, though, aren't you, to what you get?
Yeah, I buy things.
You are quite strict.
I want to play with. Realistically, I try and limit myself to how much stuff I have. And it's the same sort of thing. Obviously, the question I want to really ask the 2 of you is, obviously, now we've said about the average Joe, is Matt Ray, the store owner, going to actually build your own personal army, or are you just going to build a store copy? Are you actually going to build your own? Like, is this hit you enough? I know you might say we need to play it first to see if it really hits, but has this hit to the point where you would build your own army?
I know Matt's answered this one already just by looking at his face. He'll keep it as a store copy. You'll run, knowing you, you'll probably keep it as a demo. You'll wait till more gets released for it, then go for fully army bit into it.
I was saying to somebody earlier, I was going to wait until they brought Tau out.
See?
But now I'm considering taking some boxes on holiday with me.
Yeah?
Of the Thunderbolt fighters.
You like the planes so much?
I've always had a love for the Marauder bomber. And because they remind me so much of American aircraft in World War II. The Marauder bomber reminds me of the Mitchell Flying Fortress, and the Thunderbolt fighter always reminds me of the Mustang. It always has that feel to me of like fast and sleek.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking I'm going to wait till Tyranids or Tau come out, probably Tau, because I can't imagine doing Tyranids. But I was thinking Tau with the Tiger Sharks and all them things. But then just looking at it and looking at the ships and seeing just how nice they look.
Yeah.
I was actually
you could distracted by shinies.
I could take a box and all over me, build them up while I'm on holiday. Maybe even take a kind of spray paint and spray them and dry brush them and stuff and get them built.
Yeah, these are easy to paint, aren't they?
It should be really easy.
My initial thoughts, in all fairness, as the store owner, was I'm not going to open a box.
Yeah.
Because it had no appeal to me when they first brought it out. Mainly because it was Forge World.
I remember initially speaking to you about it.
High cost, and you got to clean all the models. Now, now Games Workshop of, and of course there was no one to play it with.
Yeah.
I mean, I even bought the Aeronautica Imperialis book and never actually did anything with it. It had the same thing happened as with this. I opened it and went, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Tell you a bit.
So that was what put me off in the first place, and I thought, well, fuck it, I didn't play it the first time, I won't play it this time. But after tonight, initially it was going to be, if people wanted me to, I would build one under sufferance and use it as a demo copy.
Like you have done with games in the past.
Yeah.
But it's not your personal copy. I am
going to have my own.
I think enough people come in here to see the difference between the store copy and your personal copy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love in your personal copy.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get some planes. I'm going to get some Imperial planes, and I'm definitely going to get some Tau when it comes out.
One thing also about this, obviously, with the demo copies of games we do have in the shop, we do take them to conventions. I can't see this being one that we'll take to conventions just because of the easiness. The games that we do take to conventions, we make sure are easy to play, don't we?
To be honest, you can bet it's easy.
You can.
You could say to people, like...
I mean, on the plus side,
you
it's got a
go
nice
put
price
down
tag
on
to
one
it.
each turn, you can move your speed by 1 each turn.
I think if you put hours into this game, like next week when we're going to play, I don't know whether you're going to play before, it's probably going to be my first time playing
Well,
next
I'm
week.
on holiday until Friday, so the option I've got is to play on
But I think
Thursday.
When are we getting a copy? We can
Probably Friday.
Friday.
so realistically, if we put hours into this, we're probably going to be able to explain it to be a lot easier. Like 40k to start is ridiculous, but I can explain a game of 40k to somebody while
So
I'm playing
we could
it
end
easily.
up, in that case then, I'll retract what I say, we could end up saving this to conventions as well, having an easy 2 demo. It's got a nice price tag to it.
What I would suggest to you is take a box of Orc Fighters in, or during the week, build a box of Orc Fighters. I'll build a box of Thunderbolt Fighters, and that's our demo on the stream. We don't even have to paint anything from the box then. We'll just play Dogfight, and then we've got the rule book, because we don't actually need this, do we?
No, the only thing we really need is the...
A set of planes, a rule book, and a map. So if I order the rule book and I order the Rin's World,
Yeah, Rin's World would be good just to have anyway.
then we've got a set of fighters each. We can use them as the store copy, and then
It's probably going to be faster as well if you just have like 2 fighters, you have 3 of the Orc fighters,
and then
you
it
just
kind
run
of
at each other.
and then it satisfies my need to have shinies until the actual aircraft that I want to come out will come out,
to a bigger range comes out.
and then I'll have my force then. As much as I'm going to like playing with Imperial, they were always my, ooh, they look nice, ooh, I like them. But in Blood Red Skies I play British. But I love the Mustang, but I play British.
They're the best.
So-
They're the best of these 2 options, aren't they? It's
Yeah.
just the same as Necromunda. Like I played Goliaths because they were the best of Goliath and Esches.
Yeah.
When all the options came out, I played Vansars because they were all out. And I think that's the same thing here. Is when they're all out, I don't think that as many people will play Orc and Imperial.
So, do you want to do that for next week's video then? You're not going to be too much pressure to actually get these built whilst on holiday?
I won't push to build them now. If I get some built, I'll build them. If not, I'll come back on Saturday and build them.
So you still get your time to build?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I was thinking like maybe because if the kids are like on a holiday, if the kids go to like a play day, me and Cecilia might just sit in the car.
Well, saying that in the evenings
might-
anyway, you'll get
I might
build
build some models and she might read.
Yeah.
Because
Really,
it's just about relaxing.
If you just do like a gunmetal spray on these, then you're just doing like a deep green transfers and some dry brushing and they're done.
Orcs could be easy enough. You just do a bit of red on them, then put transfers on.
I'd do a red spray, some yellow details and some dry brushing and then you're also
Jesus.
done. Easy peasy.
Okay.
What?
Dakar Jets are 16 points.
I think you can have a lot more Dakar Jets than you can have the Imperial stuff.
Looks like I chose the wrong side.
Yeah, because what are your Thunderbolts? 21.
23 for the Fury.
But it's the
Which is
same
one that
as,
I'd take.
like, I was watching a game of Kill Team where somebody had the same sort of thing because they chose Gene Stealer Cultist and the guy across from them was Custodes with 2. But those 2 walked through those 14.
Yeah.
Like, they were backhanded
It's a good
motherfuckers
thing I
and left
noticed
and right.
that. No. We've
I mean,
just-
Dakar Jet's got 2 structure points, so if the Fury gets a 6 to damage, it's blown out the sky. So,
There we go. Back to normal. Because this actually happened with one of Matt's videos.
Okay.
probably Cecilia.
Yeah, this actually happened to one of Matt's videos a while back. The image
Oh,
froze.
right.
So
Yeah.
he didn't actually realise because he was obviously too engrossed in actually doing what he was doing. He didn't realise the actual video feed. So thankfully,
Are you coming home yet? Yeah, I'm live. Oh, right, sorry.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is I'm more than happy to wrap it up there.
Yeah, well, we've covered everything, and obviously,
we've got our opinions.
End comments. Unfortunately for you, it's not a grabber, and I can perfectly understand why.
It's just not grabbed me in the way
It's
that I
not
would put a force together.
It's not that much to actually grab as well. To start off with.
No, I think, like Matt said, when they release another 6 factions, I might change my mind.
Yeah, you might change because there's more to it. At the moment, it's if you bring your models to it, you know you're going either go up against orcs or the same faction as you.
Like I said, I think it'll just be the Necromunda situation of like Goliaths just ruled over Esches, and it was just every time Goliaths just kicked the fuck out of Esches.
Yeah.
And then it was just those are the only factions for months on end. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully in this month we get another faction. Yeah.
So that's yours. Mine is I would buy into it, but I'll probably actually wait till there is more to it as well. Like I said, it's over you.
Yeah.
I could quite happily play this now, but then that's just to get it used to it and there's something of new game, and hopefully there'll be more for it. If there isn't more, then I'll be incredibly disappointed and go, well, that was a waste of money.
Yeah.
Matt is obviously quite hyped with the models, so I'll happy buy it now.
Yeah.
And rules-wise, oh, actually, no, continue with the actual box as well. It's a good value set. Yes, there are slight issues.
Niggling things, but there's also some good stuff.
Yeah, niggling issues, but there are some good bits.
Those bases
One
are
thing,
really nice.
the bases are good. You would have to paint these up.
Yeah, I definitely spray.
Where it's all grey and it's got details on it, it will be a bit hard to follow.
Yeah, try spraying them.
Now, we're spraying them as well.
Does that dial come out?
You have to put a bit of blue tack in it.
Yeah. It will come out because, if you look on the back, you would be able to pop it open.
Yeah.
Unless it's glued.
Unless it's glued.
I would definitely try and pop that open.
If you were to try and pop it open, be careful, but it'll make spraying a lot more easier.
I think they're clipped. I think they're clipped in.
So
you could just put a bit of blue tack on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd pop it and then I'd just take those out. I'd spray it like a gunmetal, and then I'd just do some like bronze dry.
To be honest, I might just leave it.
But we'll do that. So, couple of thoughts. That rule book is an off-putter, but the reference is its redeeming hope.
Once you've read the rule book and know that you need to skip the first like half of the rule book,
yeah,
you're fine.
No worries.
So
come next week, we'll give this a go as to how it plays, and then that would hopefully be a lot more of a convincing sell as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. I'm happy to do that next week.
If we were to give this to people, it's one of those we'll have to speak to them first about, right, don't get turned off by these points of it.
No.
Give it a try first, stick to it.
So, yeah, I'm right there with you on that one, buddy. Right there with you.
So we're happy with that for the moment for tonight, guys. Thank you for staying with us for 2 hours.
And if you've managed to watch it on YouTube for 2 hours, like, subscribe and comment.
Yeah.
If you haven't, then fuck you.
Get on it. Right. So
if you haven't watched us, then fuck you.
Next week,
because they won't know.
Next week, Sunday, we should hopefully be demoing this as well. So
with that shot burns down.
Yeah, so which hopefully won't happen. But we'll.
I don't know. He might do me a favour.
We'll just have a couple of fighters going against each other in dogfight. Nice and easy. But we'll cover all of the rules there as well as playing. So thank you.
I'm also going to have 6 fighters against your 6.
Obviously. Because you'd be 13 and
I'll have 200 and something points against
your 10. It'd be over-bonded. It's an usual thing, isn't it?
We do model count, obviously.
So, thank you for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Love you all. Brilliant for you tuning in. Still got 1 viewer as well. That's amazing. Is it Keith?
More like it.
Hardcore mofo.
But we shall catch you next week.
Have a good night or morning, wherever you are.